not the location I wanted. Her voice bounced across the ballroom like she was critiquing some thrift store purchase, not the $560,000 condo deed I had just handed her as a wedding gift in front of 180 people. Hi everyone, my name is Laya Monroe. I'm 29. And tell me, what kind of sister laughs at a $500,000 gift? My jaw didn't drop. I didn't gasp. I just smiled because this moment was my confirmation, the moment my brain clicked into exact formation. Every year of disrespect, every comment, every belittling sight glance finally had context. At the table, someone whispered behind their champagne flutes, "Does she really call it cheap?" Someone else giggled, and then my mother leaned toward my aunt and said, just loud enough, "Well, Laya always buys modest things." Modest? A 2-bed, hardwood floors, downtown skyline view condo in Seattle. I sat back in my chair and watched my sister glow. Not from gratitude, but from entitlement, like she expected to be worshipped. I didn't argue. I didn't explain. I didn't defend a single dollar. Instead, I looked right at her, the manicured princess in her beaded gown, and I said, "Don't worry, it's handled." She smirked like she'd won something. But right there, while the DJ announced the cake cutting, I pulled out my phone and it took only one text. One. I typed 5 words to the real estate attorney I'd hired 3 weeks ago, just in case my intuition was right. Execute reversal. Full reversion now. Send. She didn't hear it, she didn't see it, but I felt it. That tiny vibration in my palm was the moment her entire world shifted. She just didn't know it yet. The next morning, while she was still on her honeymoon flight to Maui, I was sitting in my car outside the King County Administrative Building, sipping an iced latte like it was any other Tuesday. Paperwork always feels colder when you see it in daylight. My attorney, Mr. Garner, slid the file toward me across the conference table. "All done. Full transfer reversal. Title is legally back under your name alone. They'll get the notice by certified mail today." I signed. Just like that, entitlement evaporated into legal smoke, and this is where the human detail hits. As I walked back to my car, the barista from downstairs waved at me. She'd seen me here before. She had no idea about the absolute atomic bomb I had just quietly set. On my drive home, my phone buzzed. A no number. I let it ring. Then 5 minutes later, another call. Then 10, then 15. When it finally stopped, a text popped up from Mom. "Urgent. Call us back immediately." I didn't. Instead, I drove to the condo itself, the one she called cheap. The sun hit the floor-to-ceiling windows like gold. I sat on the balcony and I swear I could hear her voice from last night, fake laughing in front of all those guests, trying to sound superior. She really thought I was going to let that slide. That's the thing about staying quiet. People mistake silence for weakness. By noon, my sister's new mother-in-law messaged me on Facebook. "The title company is saying the unit is not in her name. Is this a misunderstanding?" I screenshotted it, saved it, because now, for the first time in my life, they were the ones scrambling for answers, and I hadn't even started talking yet. By evening, my sister finally got Wi-Fi in the hotel. That's when the screaming began. She called 9 times. I didn't answer. Then Mom, then Dad, then her new husband. The group chat lit up like wildfire. "Sis, what did you do? They're saying the deed is invalid. Oh, fix this now. You embarrassed our family. Dad, call the attorney immediately. Sis, people are talking. Fix it now." I typed nothing. Instead, I screenshotted every message, every panicked sentence, every threat disguised as urgency. And then, for the first time in years, I felt calm. I walked to my kitchen, poured myself water, stood by the sink, and just breathed. This wasn't revenge. This was correction. This was balance. The next morning on their honeymoon, instead of room service champagne, they got the certified notice at the front desk. Ownership reversal confirmed. Property is not transferred. The hotel manager handed it to them personally. I turned. My sister stood 10 feet away. No makeup, dark circles, hands shaking slightly as she clutched her bag strap. Her voice was barely a whisper, the first time in our entire lives she wasn't performing for an audience. "Laya, Please, no cameras, no witnesses, no family to impress, just two girls raised under the same roof but carved into different shapes. She swallowed. I don't want the condo anymore. I just want you to talk to me. And there it was. Not remorse, but hunger. Hunger for access again. I held my glass gently, feeling the chill of the stem under my fingertips. You don't get to come back because your audience left, I said softly. Her lip trembled. What do I do now? I took a breath, the kind that feels like mountain air, and answered with the only truth that fit. Grow without me. Her face collapsed inward like she'd been waiting her whole life for me to save her from herself. But I wasn't built to be her stepping stool anymore. I turned away, walked toward the theater's doors, where women who respect value waved me over. Earning is louder than inheriting. Impact is louder than applause. Love is louder than entitlement. I stepped into a room full of people who saw me, really saw me. And as the lights dimmed and the event began, I finally understood power is not taking things back. Power is refusing to be claimed again. The next morning, I walked into the office with my latte, hair still damp from my shower, zero drama in my bloodstream, just clarity. By 10 a.m., my inbox was a circus. Her new mother-in-law emailed me directly. We expect you to restore the property transfer today. This is humiliating for our family. Expect. They talk like the universe is a vending machine. Then my favorite one, a voice note from mom. You're acting like a criminal. This is emotional cruelty. You're destroying your own sister. Criminal? No. Criminal is forging signatures, which ironically is exactly what the investigator found. Because while they were busy melting down publicly, I had already hired a compliance firm 48 hours before the wedding. Why? Because something in my gut told me to prepare. So when my lawyer called at 11:22 a.m. and said, "We found irregularities in their paperwork, forged income statements tied to your name," I didn't even flinch. I forwarded the entire file to the DA's office, tamper-stamped, notarized, attached with the original gift contract and the reversal approval. At 2:09 p.m., my phone buzzed with just 3 words from my attorney. Case accepted. Proceed. I leaned back in my chair and closed my eyes. Not revenge, remedy. By 4 p.m., the panic was visible online. People in the wedding guest photos quietly edited their captions. Her new husband deleted his post about owning property at 29. His mother switched her profile to private. And I realized something. Humiliation always catches the loudest people first because they never learn to whisper. That evening, I dimmed the lights, lit one candle, and cooked myself dinner. Slow, quiet, soft. Peace is loud when you've earned it. That night, around 9:40 p.m., my Ring doorbell alert chimed. Motion detected. I walked to the foyer and pulled the live feed up on my phone. My sister was on my porch in her honeymoon dress. Mascara streaked, hair frizzed, shoes in her hands like she'd walked half a city block barefoot. Behind her, her new husband stood stiff, embarrassed, trying not to meet the camera lens. She knocked, first timid, then louder. "Laya, open the door. We need to talk." Her voice cracked on the last word. I didn't move. She tried again. I didn't move. I was just showing off in the moment. There it was. Not regret, not realization, not remorse. Image control. Her husband stepped forward, voice low. Her parents are furious. Mine too. We need this resolved before Sunday. They already announced to our guests that the condo was ours. I've stayed still, silent inside my house. Because silence is not weakness. Silence is the removal of access. He knocked once more. Laya, you're ruining us. There it is again. The truth she never says out loud. Some people don't want relationships. They want resources. I let them stand there, two silhouettes, trapped between humiliation and panic, until that porch light turned off automatically at 10 p.m. Then I finally texted her, short and clean. You laughed at the value. Now you get the value of that laugh. Delivered. No typing bubbles, no reply, just two desperate people staring at a locked door they used to walk through like royalty. And for the first time, I felt the exact weight of power land where it always should have been, in my hands. The text came seconds later. Sis, are you out of your mind? We already told his family it was ours. Then another, the mom. You humiliated her. Fix it. Fix it. I finally replied, just 6 words. Respect was the price. You refused. Silence. Then my sister tried one more angle. Okay, fine. Can you at least retransfer it later? Maybe when we're done moving. That one made me laugh out loud in my own kitchen, because this is the part she never understood. I didn't give her that condo because she deserved it. I gave it because I was hoping, just once, she would choose gratitude over cruelty. She didn't, so I chose the deed over her. 2 days later, I'm at work, quiet morning, editing pitch decks, when my coworker Serena leans across the desk and whispers, "Hey, your sister is blowing up on Facebook. Like, meltdown level." I raise one eyebrow. About what? Serena shows me the post. My sister ranting about a family betrayal and stolen real estate. 300 comments under it already. Half of them asking questions she clearly can't answer. Then mid-scroll, her phone rings. Her face goes pale. Someone named your mom is calling my phone? That's when I knew they were running out of people to reach. I tell her calmly, don't pick up. She nods, puts the phone face down. At 12:17 p.m., I get an email from the title company confirming they'd received another request from my sister's side to reinstate her ownership. Denied. At 10:03 p.m., my sister's new mother-in-law adds me on LinkedIn, probably hoping to clarify. Denied. At 2:42 p.m., mom texts again. This is getting out of hand. We raised you. You owe us loyalty. I stare at those words for a long moment. Loyalty to the people who laughed at the gift? To the people who humiliated me to look impressive in front of strangers? My reply finally came. Slow, steady, typed in perfect clarity. You don't get to mock the value of something and then demand to own it. Read. No response. At 6:12 p.m., my sister finally tried her last card. Okay, we're going to tell everyone you betrayed the family. No one will support you. I smiled, because that right there was the moment I stopped being the quiet sister in their story and became the narrator of my own. The morning after her meltdown post, around 7:30 a.m., while I was doing my skincare routine, phone propped on the bathroom counter, another notification popped up. Not from her, not from mom, not from dad. It was from her new husband's employer. Subject line, verification request, property status. I froze for a second, not emotionally, just because of the irony. He had bragged in the office that he and his new wife were property owners in prime Seattle. He had used the condo as leverage in a negotiation. He'd promised his boss a private dinner party at their new place. And now HR was reaching out to verify his statement because his bragging had reached corporate compliance. I replied in one sentence, the property is under my name exclusively. No emotion, no context, no story. Facts are enough. 30 minutes later, my sister sent a voice note, her voice trembling, breath uneven. They're saying he lied at work. They might suspend him. Laya, you need to call them. Need? No. Boundaries aren't cruelty. Boundaries are mathematically fair. I typed back, your consequences are not my job. At 9:12 p.m., her husband emailed me directly. We are begging you. Please transfer it back, even temporarily. We can pay you back later. Pay me back later? They never even thanked me in the first place. I stood there, mascara wand in hand, staring at my own reflection and realized this is the first time in our entire lives They were the ones asking, and I wasn't the one collapsing. I wasn't the one apologizing. I wasn't the one shrinking. For the first time, I wasn't the powerless sister. I was the wall. I was the limit. And they finally had to feel it. 3 weeks later, I attended a Women in Tech mentorship gala downtown. Crisp navy blazer, hair slicked into a low bun, a calmness in my spine that wasn't there before. At the lobby bar, I felt someone approach me. Not physically close, but emotionally familiar. That energy of discomfort, that little static tremble of someone who used to feel taller than me, now suddenly smaller.